a video over here on YouTube from when he responded to the claims that he abandoned his kids. This is from 6 years ago, because this is when he started losing money, because, you know, you biatches go along with anything any biatch says and don't listen to nothing and don't use your fucking brain and don't act like you got any sense. And he got to be bad. He's a man, right? Gotta be. He's a straight. He got to be wrong.
Hey guys, it's Mcknight here. I've been traveling about 17 hours to Guam. I have a concert tonight, and I got off the plane to some of the most heinous craziness I've ever seen in my life. That my oldest son, Brian, would post that I'm abandoning my children. And the reason why, I suppose, is because I have a new family. And I guess this stems from a post that I made the other day about my son, Jack, who I'm very proud of, which isn't to say I'm not.
Jack is Leilani's son. Okay, so he SYCBM'd for the child, the Hawaiians.
Haven't been proud of my other children, but I was proud of this one for the things that he did that day. We'll get back to that in a second. Anyone who knows me knows over the last 20 years, 30 years now, as a matter of fact, that I've been there for my children every step of the way until recently. And let's be clear, my two sons are 30 and 27.
30 and 27. How long are you supposed to take care of them crumb snatchers, y'all? Bueller. 30 and 27. I remember this video. 30 and 27. How long are you supposed to take care of your crumb snatchers, child? When are they responsible for what it is that they do, especially when they talking disparagingly about you and treating you like shit for whatever their reasons are? It could be on the strength of their mama, or it could just because they jackasses.
Not 12, not 13, but 30 and 27. Now, my daughter's about to turn 18. That's another story I'll get to in a second. I've never missed a day of child support. I've never done anything adverse to my children whatsoever. I've always been there. I've always been there with advice, whether they took it or not. I've always been the sounding board, and I've always been the one that tried to help them achieve whatever dreams they were wanting to reach out for. I guess one of my only faults is I gave my children everything that I didn't have in the hopes that they would appreciate it. I know how much I would have appreciated it when I was their age. I would tell you as parents out there, entitling your children is probably one of the worst things you can do, and I know I am guilty of that. For whatever reasons, I'm guilty of that. Tough love is a tough thing as a parent to try to institute to your children, because you want to help them as much as you can, and I did as much as I possibly could. When I stopped doing that for them, BJ was 25 and Nico was 22. And it wasn't like I completely cut them off at that point. That happened much later. But I've been there. When I put them out of my house, I gave them an apartment for 2 years. And I said, guys, this is it. This is the time to grow up. I'm giving you 2 years. I'm going to pay for everything for 2 years, but you're going to have to work or do something, because at the end of those 2 years, that's going to be it. It's time to be men.
Imagine saying, I'm going to take care of you for 2 more years. You got to get the fuck up out of this house, child. But I'm going to still take care of you for 2 years and pay for everything for 2 years. I'm going to need y'all to get it together, child, because you're not getting it. You're not getting it. And it ain't my job to take care of you for the rest of your life, regardless of whether I'm Brian Mcknight or not. That's crazy talk. How dare he do that? How dare he try to raise men? Let this man raise his sons. Nope. You know who got to come in here and tell somebody? For adults. They're fucking adults. Their frontal lobe. Maybe their frontal lobe. Maybe it was their frontal lobe, child. But that's not good enough for anybody, which again, she probably still getting whatever she getting. He's talking about he had to finally put them out. That means that they were still in the house at 22 and whatever the age he said that they were. They were still in his house. He said, yeah, nah, y'all got to go. But I'm going to take care of you for 2 years. Get it together. How fucking long are you supposed to take care of adults? Regardless of whether they're your kids or not, especially when they probably doing whatever the fuck they want to do, whenever the fuck they want to do it, which we see all the time over here on TikTok. People talking about the eggs hot. Well, I ain't talking about it no more, but remember, the eggs hot and milk is hot. Them nails is done. That hair is done. They getting them lattes, but they need help from everybody else. Oh, okay. Where they do that at? Oh, yeah, here. Foss said, remember a few years ago, people were calling Dr. Dre a deadbeat because his 38-year-old daughter, yes, became homeless, but he took care of and paid her bills until 36. Yes. Yeah. But we see regular, slow-ass bitches putting their kids out at 12, 13, 14, and 15, but they got all this smoke for these people who would have helped them as much as they can, probably gave them everything in the world, giving them extra time, but now all of a sudden he's the fucking deadbeat. They don't say that about none of these bitches. When these bitches come up on the blogs, and say that they left the kids in the car because they had to go steal in the grocery store. They found all amounts of empathy and sympathy for them bitches. Say I'm lying. Every bit of empathy and sympathy. She had to do what she had to do. Oh yeah, is that what you're saying? Is that what we're doing right now? So you're absolving her? When they even delete their kids, y'all, you know it's true. They will delete their fucking kids. These bitches will come up with an excuse. You don't know how tough it is to be a mother. Oh, I don't. Oh, I don't. You don't know what it means to be a mom. You don't understand. And the man's not helping you. Well, child, that's on you. You got to do what you got to do. But I'm sorry. If it was rough on the first, why'd you have the second? And why'd you have the third? And why'd you have the fourth? You thought it was going to get easier? Oh, okay. You dumb bitch. I'm not trying to hear it. Other people can ignore the shit all you want to. They will make excuses for a fucking roach if it's fucking female. I'm not trying to hear this shit. It is not his responsibility to take care of fucking adults, especially since they was probably given every fucking opportunity in the world just because they're his fucking children. Just like it's not my responsibility to take care of my kids just because they're my fucking children for the rest of their fucking life. Figure it the fuck out, because I have given you every tool that you need in order to go and make it in the fucking world. Just because you want to do what the fuck you want to do, then you can sit up there and take the consequences, whatever they may be. No matter how much it hurts me, I'm not supporting that bullshit because you know better. And I'm sure he said the same thing. So if you ain't got no kids and you ain't had to say, you know what? You get it the fuck together. You may not understand this shit. I understand it completely. Not even because I had that much of problems with my children or whatever. But when you need to come home and you need something, that's when you can come home. Just like when my kid had that bat in her house, I'm not going to allow her and my granddaughter to live in a house where there's a bat flying around and the people won't do nothing about it. Bring your ass home. And this is what the fuck you need to do with regard to that apartment complex to get that shit together and get up out of that lease. And guess what? It's interesting when they want to listen to you when it comes to something like that. She did that shit and got the fuck up out of that lease and got her deposit back. But you bitches won't even help your kids do none of that. You won't. You ain't even trying to read shit to figure out the fuck out. I made her do it. I knew what it was. You do it. You do that shit. Sorry, y'all. Nah. So no, I understand what Brian Mcknight is saying. I understand this more than others will.
When I put them out of my house, I gave them an apartment for 2 years. I said, guys, this is it. This is the time to grow up. I'm giving you 2 years. I'm gonna pay for everything for 2 years, but you're gonna have to work or do something, because at the end of those 2 years, that's gonna be it. It's time to be men here, guys. It's time to grow up.
That probably was a problem too, that he had the audacity and the nerve to say it's time to be men. Y'all know that's not allowed, child. This is probably when it was starting to. You know you're not allowed to be men. We need men in the community. So here's a man trying to help his damn sons, and here come the mama. Don't you ever call Nico again. Bitch, please.
At the end of those 2 years, they hadn't done any of it. It was just right around the time that Leilani and I got together. Leilani was working at Children's Hospital. And let's be clear, Leilani has been one of the only people who's been an advocate to keeping us together, to keeping us having a relationship, because she wants to have the nuclear family as much as I did. And they have spit in her face at every turn. She got them jobs at the hospital, $18 an hour with benefits, and with the option of the hospital actually paying for them to go back to school. They said, and I quote, that they knew they didn't want to stop smoking and they would have to pass a drug test. And
I know you fucking lying. Let's not forget that we found out that Leilani is a doctor. I forget what kind of doctor. I think she was like a Preston Burke doctor. And she got them a job, and they said, child, we're not trying to stop smoking, Mary Jane, so we don't want them jobs. Or it could have been $18 an hour when my dad is Brian Mcknight. $18 an hour. Child, please. These people.
She got them jobs at the hospital, $18 an hour with benefits, and with the option of the hospital actually paying for them to go back to school. They said, and I quote, that they knew they didn't want to stop smoking and they would have to pass a drug test. And the day I had the doctors looking into it, Nico's on there, taking a big puff, which is fine. If you want to smoke, that's fine. I'm not saying that I'm saying that.
Nico, excuse me, was on there taking a big puff, huh? So we was putting that shit on the internet, huh? Okay.
That's bad. If that's your choice, that's your choice. But what I'm telling you is that we have been advocates for them every step of the way. Now let's go to the part where we have been estranged. Again, we talk about abandonment. I'm not abandoning them. We are estranged, which happens. more often than not in this particular situation. BJ broke into our home a few months ago, and he put X's on the eyes of our wedding photos.
Hold on. Who broke in? Hold on.
We have been estranged again. We talk about abandonment. I'm not abandoning them. We are estranged, which happens more often than not in this particular situation. BJ broke into our home a few months ago, and he put X's on the eyes of our wedding photos. And then he put a photo of my first wedding on Leilani's vanity. It was at that moment, and after I heard him say, and was pointed to from other friends of mine that saw his posts on social media, that he basically said that I was better off dead to him than alive. I was more valuable to him dead than alive. And that was the end of me dealing with him. If you look at my Instagram, you'll see that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yo, what the fuck?
My first wedding on Leilani's vanity. It was at that moment, and after I heard him say, and was pointed to from other friends of mine that saw his posts on social media, that he basically said that I was better off dead to him than alive. I was more valuable to him dead than alive.
Of course he's more valuable because you think that you in the will. But after that, I'm thinking you probably not in the will. What the fuck? You breaking in to cross out the eyes of the new wife and then lay your mama's wedding photo with Brian Mcknight on her nightstand? Shit, I'd have been done with you too. I ain't lying. I've been done with you too, child. There's something going on right there. I ain't got time for that. Love you from afar. Ain't nobody got time for foolishness like that. I'm sorry, y'all. That's demonic crazy.
And that was the end of me dealing with him.
I'm thinking that was a good decision.
Look at my Instagram, you'll see that not my last video, but the video before that, 42, the song was written by Brian and I, and it was directed, the video, by Nico. And I went on and I said how proud.
So in other words, he had them in the music business. Brian and Nico in the music business. Child, they couldn't make that work either.
But I was a Nico at the time, and I really, really was. He did an awesome job in that video. Even before that, less than 2 years ago, these are the two gentlemen who stood up for me as my best man in my wedding. So abandonment, deadbeat dad, I'll reiterate, I've never missed a day of child support. I've been there every step of the way. BJ, he talks about Jack's new car. BJ had 3 brand new cars before he was 22. But I'm not talking about material things. None of this has anything to do with money. It's about respect. Respect goes both ways.
Respect? What the hell is that? Brian Mcknight? What is respect? There's no such thing as respect. That has been taken out of the dictionary. I don't know when, but it's been taken out of the dictionary because ain't no respect around her. There's no way. There's no way. You mean he wanted his children to show some respect? Show some respect to me, the person that's taking care of your ass, the person that's probably clothing your ass, probably where you got them 3 cars from, probably feeding your ass, housing your ass. Respect? Woo, I don't know where they do that at. Trying to raise men. And then you got probably, allegedly, somebody over here whispering in their ear, much like that damn voicemail that he put out. That never happens. That's crazy talk.
And even in family, there's a line that shouldn't and should not ever be crossed. It's crazy to me that people will just believe anything. And I thought it was important to set the record straight and let you guys know that abandonment has nothing to do with any of this. Deadbeat dad, I've been there every step of the way. And let's also remember that these kids are 30 and 27, not 12. It's time for grown men to be grown men. And I'm sorry.
Oh, Brian Mcknight, that's the problem right there. You can't say that. Nope, they don't want men to be men. They want them to be female OPP biatches. I've been getting demonetized a lot. I gotta calm down. So that's what the world wants them to be. And you know who pushes that? Bitches. Yeah, because that's what they want. Then they complain that they ain't no good men, ain't no strong men, ain't no men doing this, that, and the third. But in the same respect, they want y'all to be like women. Shout out to the straights up in here. You gotta listen. This is why everything's all fucked the fuck up, y'all, okay? Because it's 1 second it's this way, the next minute it's that way, the next minute it's this way, the next minute it's that way. That's a lot of ping-ponging, child. That's why Democrats looking crazy, because they ping-ponging over there, looking half damn crazy. Can you get a message and keep it and just pound it in, pause? Just continue with it? Nope. Because, child, if some bitch thinks something tomorrow, then you got to change it to that. And then on Wednesday, you got to change it to that. And then on Saturday, you got to change it to that, right? Maybe Julie should have stayed the fuck up out of adult issues, right? Let this man deal with his sons because he is their father. But y'all already know no man can sit up here and take control of their own fucking family, let alone their sons. You know, biatches no more. You know, I say it all the time. I don't know shit about sons. I ain't got none. But I know damn well I can't teach no damn a son to be a fucking man. I'm not a man. Allegedly. Because I just might be one. That's me and my thought process.
Sorry that tough love happens to be this way. And I do wish them the best. I want them to have and to reach their dreams and their full potential. But like any other man in the world, you got to go out there and you got to take it. As far as my daughter is concerned,
you mean that's what y'all supposed to do? That's what you straights be doing? You be going out in the world making it happen as men? And Julie allegedly didn't want her sons to have that done. They just wanted Brian to take care of them for the rest of their lives, maybe? Now, who think that Julie ain't getting enough money that she could be good? I'm not saying that it's all about money. I don't think it's all about money. I just think that anything to screw with him, for a lack of a better way to describe it, is what they wanted to do because he done moved on. And then he had the nerve to move on. He became a passport bro, moved on with a Hawaiian. And then he had the nerve and the audacity to go and have a kid. Now, listen, the changing of the name to the kid is crazy, child, because I actually do know somebody who, I think he had 5 kids by 3 different women. And then the first woman named the kid after him. And then the second or the third woman named the kid after him. And I'm like, you got 2 kids with the same damn name by a different woman? I said, what the fuck is wrong with these people? He's like, I don't know. I was like, wow, you bitches be doing the most. Ain't that sound crazy?
You know, her mother, if you look back at my Instagram, she was a part of this family too, with Jack and Julie and Leilani and myself. And unfortunately, along the way, a couple years ago, I got wind that there was an older cousin who was above 18 who was quite possibly having sex with her. So I called, as a father should, to the...
Hold on. His daughter, who allegedly had an affair. Allegedly. I don't know.
You know, her mother, if you look back at my Instagram, she was a part of this family too, with Jack and Julie and Leilani and myself. And unfortunately, along the way, a couple years ago, I got wind that there was an older cousin who was above 18 who was quite possibly having sex with her. So I called, as a father should, to the state office for children's affairs there in Arizona, and I never heard anything back. But the next thing that her mother did was to block all of us from her social media, from her phone, and completely estranged her from us. What that told me was they didn't want me to be involved in their life that way. So to see the post that she said, considering that her mother only had a child with me for money in the first place, and I'll reiterate this, I have not missed a child support payment. She goes to one of the most incredible private schools in Arizona. So I don't know where this is all coming from, but I thought that I needed to let everybody know that there's another side to this story. You can choose to believe what you want. I thought that I would lay it out there for you. Anything that I say is actual and factual. All you have to do is Google Brian Mcknight and Sons, and you'll see us singing all over YouTube. Go back and look at my Instagram. Go back a couple of years. You'll see that I posted about all of my children. But remember that these kids, these boys, they're grown men, and tough love is exactly what it is. It's tough love. So thanks, everybody.
All right, tough love. All right, tough love.
We do not care